easily accessible.
God, no. Why would you expect me to have things saved in somewhere easily accessible?
I don't know.
You just got done telling me how much I squirrel about any basic thing.
Okay.
So, hi, how are you? How have you been?
Are we recording?
We are recording. We've been recording.
I like how you don't even tell me.
I literally started, and now we're recording.
You said we're not recording. I'm still looking for the topic, and then we had the conversation about the topic that you couldn't find because you make everything complicated. And then the next thing you know, you're like, "Hi, how are you?" Now we're recording.
We're recording.
Oh, hi everybody. We're back.
I cannot.
Welcome to the shit show. Authentically us. This is what sessions are like. Squirrel. We need one of those like buttons like you have for your dog, your talking dog buttons. We need one that just says squirrel, so I can just hit it every so often. Squirrel.
I need to bring one in, and we need to train Cheetah.
Okay. Oh, I got another your order PayPal. Your order has been processed. Fraud emails. I've been getting a lot of them lately. What did I buy this time? Oh look, an iPhone 16. My order has been processed. Woohoo! I'm gonna be charged how much? I'm gonna take my glasses off to see.
Oh my god.
We have noticed an unauthorized transaction from your PayPal account. If this transaction was not made by you, please call us to cancel this order. Otherwise, your $719 will be charged today for my Apple iPhone 16, 256 gigabytes. That's all they're charging me for it? I thought those things were way more expensive.
They are way more expensive.
Let's see how real this is. Oh, you know it's a fraud. Okay, here's the first indication that there's a fraud. This email was sent to me and 99 other people.
Y'all bought iPhones.
We all bought iPhones. Oh my goodness. All of us bought iPhones. That's a lot of people. That's so fabulous. Where am I supposed to call? What does it say? Does it say where I'm supposed to call? Let me see. Customer support team. I'm supposed to call a customer support team. One of these days we should just call one of these and talk to them while we're on a podcast.
That could be very entertaining. Okay, I'm really mad right now because
You can't find it?
I can't find it.
Because, you know, you don't know how to actually save stuff.
I don't know how to save things. Leave me alone.
Okay. So what was it in a post?
It was a comment in a post.
A comment in a post. What
And it was-
post?
That's the problem.
Well, how can I help you find it if I don't know?
I know who posted it.
Somebody posted it or somebody commented?
Somebody commented.
So you know who commented.
I know who commented.
This is what I deal with, folks. This is why she pays me, is because I have to deal with this. Otherwise, I'd work for free. But don't tell her that.
I just heard the things.
Who are we searching for?
It was basically on trying to manage everything. Like managing life and
balance.
work and school and
How do we
balance.
balance
Yeah.
things?
Yeah. Maybe if I search podcast, I'll find it. Because that seems like the most logical thing, right?
Sure.
It's not. Ah, there it is. If you haven't, can you talk about how stressful it is to be doing everything for everyone, but what about yourself? So, again, kind of balancing, in this person's case, school, work, internship, you know, how that messes with your mind. She needs some motivation to finish her degree and a break and money to get licensed. So, having it all,
Doing it all.
doing it for everybody else but yourself.
I think, especially as women, we feel like we have to do it all.
Oh, we do.
And then add into all the aspects. If you're a parent, if you have kids, in some cases your spouse is also a child. You're balancing going to work, you're balancing going to school, you're balancing taking care of the kids. And you forget about who you are and what you are and what you need.
I mean, this sounds like a perfect sales pitch, but we aren't going to make this entirely a sales pitch.
It's not a sales pitch. It's literally, it's all about self-care. I mean, that's been preached for many years of
you can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't. And whether you do a boudoir session or you go for a spa day or you just reserve 10 minutes to yourself.
And we, at least I, tend to think of like self-care as the spa day, the facial, the pampering.
But there's
it's
more to
more than
self-care.
that.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
way
it
more to
literally can be
self-care.
like balancing your checkbook. Not that anybody uses a checkbook, but it could be going through your finances and canceling old subscriptions. Like, that is a form of self-care.
Yeah, I don't think that you have to like get away for a whole day, and especially since if you are that person who has 4 kids, works 4 jobs, manages the household, does all the things, and you're going to school on top of it, which we did have a client like that. Self-care can be, again,
locking yourself in the bathroom for 10 minutes,
having 10 minutes of just quiet.
Yeah.
That somebody isn't demanding something of your time. Having that do everything shower that you can actually go in there and not worry that the house is going to burn down around your head.
I'm going to squirrel for a minute.
Oh, shocker, squirrel.
When did we decide? I mean, like, I know these things have always existed, but when did we like break showers up into multi-part pieces? Like the everything shower, like the rinse shower, the, this, that, or the other. Like, why does it need a label?
I don't think that it needed a label. I think just like with social media and people are talking about it, we all do the things where there is that day like, okay, today's the day I have time. I'm not rushing out the door because I have to go to work. I actually have time to shave, pluck,
and
moisturize, scrub, descale, whatever it is you're doing. Like all the things. Like,
COVID ruined me because prior to that, I was damn near like an everyday shower, everyday wash my hair, everyday shave, all the things. And then I was spending all this time at home not getting, like, I went from my bedroom to my living room and I worked on a computer. It wasn't that I was doing anything sweaty or intensive. And then I am certain, like, sorry if it's gross to you, but there was probably some weeks where I like showered once a week because I wasn't doing anything, wasn't going anywhere, wasn't seeing anyone. What did it matter? And that, not the once a week, mind you, has kind of stuck with me where I'm like, if I'm not doing anything, like I got up this morning, I drove the dog to daycare, I came here, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna work at my computer, and I'm gonna go home. I haven't done anything. What is the, like, what is the energy to take a shower here other than to like rinse off and whatever?
I don't know.
I don't need to wash my hair.
I think for me sometimes that is my, like,
is that your getaway?
It's my getaway. There are days, and I've even said this to you, where we've been going balls to the wall. We've had, like the other day when we had, like, past week where we had like 5-6 clients in a row.
Yeah.
We worked a Saturday. The only day that I had to myself at all was Sunday. And I have no issue with this, but it was literally, I informed my family, I am not getting dressed, which I actually at home, I don't. That is my self-care. Because
your self-care is not putting clothes on.
My self-care is just like literally living in my comfy pajamas or whatever's, I have. I'm like, I do not want to have to leave the house. I don't want to have to people. I don't want to have to put clothes on. I just want to sit and vegetate. And my vegetation is different from other people's vegetation. Like, my son makes fun of me because I will turn on a TV show.
And then promptly scroll your phone.
And I won't watch it. I will listen to it. This is why I pick specific things that I don't have to focus on. I just want the noise. I just want to hear what's being said. I will peek occasionally if there's something happening that I want to see what's happening. But then I go right back to, I'm playing Candy Crush.
This.
It's not even
I'm
scrolling.
sorry. This
I'm
this
Candy
made me
Crush.
think of something else. Do we have we as a society lost the ability to sit in silence?
Oh no, I love silence. I like silence. I'm that weird person that I could happily just sit.
But how often do you sit in silence?
I do. There's many a time. Have you not seen me just sit in my car and not move?
Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, the fuck is she coming in?
Yeah, because I will. As soon as I turn my car off and there's like not really any sound and I just sit there for a second. I'm like, okay. I unfortunately don't get to have, because I rarely get the house completely to myself.
And I message her constantly.
And if I need to, I just mute you. But like, I rarely get the house completely to myself because my son still lives at home and he works from home, so he doesn't leave the house. So on the days that my husband and my son like leave the house together and they go away and it's just me, yes, I happily sit in silence.
But are you on your phone?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I'm with you. There's days that, like, I don't have the TV on, I don't have music on, but I'm still, like, on my phone, and it's making me wonder, is that now a lost art?
But
are we so attached to a device or noise or something?
No, and I absolutely, and I'm the weird one. So when I'm sitting not watching television, and then my son gives me a hard time, why do you have it on? You're not watching it, you're looking at your phone. I can literally zone out to the point that I hear nothing happening around me and I don't even see what I'm looking at.
So why have it on?
It's because it's the white noise that allows me to completely escape my own. It's weird. It's a transportation device.
Tracy's over here driving her car in her mind.
But seriously, I literally can even sit there and it's Candy Crush is my go-to. So I'm not scrolling. I'm not looking through Facebook. I'm playing Candy Crush and the TV is on and I can literally almost like hypnotize myself into just like this almost shut out of everything. And it's there. It just all goes away and I'm just in my own head and dissolve into that. And it's kind of interesting. I have to be careful though, because this isn't another thing that I told you about driving, is when I'm alone and I don't have somebody else's energy occupying some focus of mine, I tend to do the same thing that like my brain will.
So do I just need to like video call you in a couple weeks so you can have my
I have ways of like redirecting my brain to focus on stuff.
Send you a text message. I'm gonna
no, you're not. No, it's not. It's just there's certain times where I have to be aware of it and focus on stuff. But yeah, I have literally like Tracy's left the building. I can absolutely completely. You know what? You actually were doing it yesterday when you were talking and you're like, look at you, you're like just scrolling Facebook. Do you even or no? I was on Instagram and I was just scrolling. I'm like, no, it's just absolutely not a clue what was on the screen. I was just like swiping, and no idea. I left the building.
Do you feel like? I get that it's an escape, but let's back up a little bit. Do you feel that that's a detrimental thing from a society perspective?
I don't think so. I don't think so because we talk about like mental health and my own perspective and seeing things change in my lifetime of how we cope, how we handle, how we deal with emotions, how we do all of these things is, I think that is part of the escape. When you go sit in silence, what does that do? Like you say, we've lost the art of sitting in silence. When you're sitting in silence, is it silent? Is your mind going? Have you completely turned off your mind and you're sitting there completely in silence? Most of us don't know how to turn off our mind, our thoughts, and just go completely blank. And that's the thing is, I've lived in the forest. I've lived, where I could completely go and be completely isolated and not have a single soul around me. But most of us still can't sit in silence. Not silence from utter zero sound, but even in our own minds. We can't turn off the voices. We can't turn off the thoughts. We can't turn off the things. And that is why what I'm doing is that moment that I turn off everything. And I like it because I get so much from all directions. Like, and you know this, I absorb every energy around me. I pick up all the energy, and there's times where it's intense, and it's intense in a negative way, and other times it's just a lot. It's just draining. So when I can actually sit and go completely dead, completely silent, shut it all down, and just have a moment where there's peace of all directions, I love it. But I don't think it's a detriment to people. I think what becomes a detriment is when we are unable to leave that completely and go socialize. Like, I actually really hate it when I go out and I'm sitting down with friends and everybody's on their phone. I'm like, can we put down the phone and not talk? I don't know how often, like, I prefer to sit down and put my phone down, but if I'm sitting there and the person that I'm with is on their phone the whole time, okay, I'm just gonna pick up my phone. Because, like, I would rather just put the phone down. Like, yes, and there are times when you and I go eat that I want to take away your phone. Like, let's just have a conversation. Let's talk about the other things.
Actually, I think the art of the conversation has gotten lost.
That's what's gotten lost.
Because again, let me preface, because I have to include this in like every podcast episode. I love my husband, but I think he is more well versed on some topics than I am, and we disagree on a lot of topics. So I will often scroll the news and be like, oh, did you see this? And I'm using my phone as the like reference for a talking point, because not that I don't know what to talk about with him, but I want to talk like current events, because there's only so many times we can talk about work and the dog and whatever else. So I'm like, I'll scroll through the news or X or something and be like, hey, did you see this? And use that as a starting point. But yeah, I know he hates it sometimes that like my phone is always.
And I think that's the difference when we talk about it. Like, you look at what I'm doing, and I can say there were times in my life where there were detrimental moments, but at the same time, it's like I would upset a child at my house because I would get home from a long shift at work and have to.
You don't want people anymore.
I don't want people anymore. I wanted to just zone out and go into that complete like brain shutdown. I don't want to think.
Yeah.
I just want to zone. And when I zone out. And then having kids that are like, I need your attention.
Mom.
And I've said this, and especially because my son's like, how do you even do that? I'm like, dude, if you want to talk to me and I'm completely zoned out, get my attention, ask for my attention, say, hey, can I have a few minutes? Can you talk to me? So that I can set the stuff down and give you my undivided attention. But if you're just automatically talking to me in that moment,
I do this to her.
I'm not going to hear you, and then you're going to leave mad because I'm ignoring you.
Correct.
And this was the same, like, I had this with my daughter all the time. I'd be sitting in my chair doing my zone out because I'd been at work all day, and I would come home and I would sit there and zone out, and she's sitting at the kitchen table behind me, so I can't even see her.
Yeah.
And she's starting to talk to me, and I have no awareness, and it would anger her. And then she was like, you're the bad mom because you don't hear me, you're not listening to me, you're not paying attention to me. And I'm like, first, you also have to learn space. We both need time. I can have some time to myself. Second, when you need me, come around, face me, and talk to me, and make sure that I'm paying attention. Or say, hey, can I have your moment? Like, yeah, that's just like a simple thing. I'm like, I would do that with you too. Like, just give me that moment. But yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna zone out You know, there were many a times, like, I worked in a stressful job. I'm seeing stuff every day. I need my brain to
Sure,
just turn
absolutely.
off. And I'm one of those people who absolutely compartmentalizes everything. Everything is compartmentalized. Everything that I do is like divided up. My brain, you get one part of my brain at a time. And that's the brain that's working. You know, people ask about us during photo shoots, and it's the same thing. You know, when we talk about it, that
I mean, the attention thing, I definitely see here because I'll start talking to you and you don't have a fucking clue what I said. And but
put your listening ears on.
Yeah.
So I need you to like re-enter preschool. I need you to put your listening ears on and focus your eyes on me.
And I know we both do this, but we'll be talking to each other, and one of us will pick up the phone, and I know that I do this when you talk to me, and I'm sure it bugs you, but you do this to me, and I like
do it,
and it drives me mad because I'm like, I'm talking to you, like I feel like your attention has gotten lost.
Sometimes I'm just
like, God damn it,
sometimes I'm just waiting for you to shut up because you're like droning on about something that I really just don't care. And I'm like, okay, maybe she'll get the hint. She can stop talking.
No, I'll just get mad because you're not paying attention to me.
Okay, so then we need to implement this rule that when we want to talk, we want our undivided attention. The phone gets taken away and put on a desk face down opposite of you.
I don't know
from you.
I don't know where my husband got it, but he got this like little phone jail.
The lockbox jail.
Mm-hmm. And this quickly fell apart, but he wanted us to put like our phones in, you know, in an evening so he could watch a movie or something. And I'm like, I couldn't. I was much happier just to turn it face down next to me, because then if he like wandered off to go to the bathroom or something, like I could check it. It wasn't taking away from my time with him because he was no longer like there.
Okay, so I'm going to, and you're going to hate me for this. I'm going to start implementing a no phone time. That neither one of us can have a phone. Because one of the things that I battle, my son will sit down and do exactly the same thing. We'll sit down to watch a movie. And he's like, no phone, put your phone away. And I'm like, I can't, I have to work. Like, either Krista's messaging me a question or a client messaged me or something happened. And I agree with him. It's kind of like, pay attention. You can't sit through a whole movie and like not pay attention.
I mean, so again, generationally, we can't sit through a whole fucking movie anymore.
It's very hard to sit through a whole fucking movie. I do enjoy going to the movie theater, but movies have gotten so much longer too.
And so cute.
Well, if they're really good, it's great. If like you're really engaged, you don't realize how much time has gone by. But there's so many movies that I've gone to that you feel the time. Like you sit there and go, oh my god, or have we hit the end yet? I'm ready for this. They need to shorten movies a little bit, but that's our new task. This is our self-care for us. Because both of you and I have been definitely going 100 miles an hour since January. Yeah. And that's it. From now on, clients, potential clients, we love you, but there's going to come a point in time where we're going to have an hour or two a day that you are not getting our attention in any way, shape, or form. It can wait. There are no boudoir emergencies.
And this is true. I mean, short of like your session is tomorrow and you're in the hospital.
Text us. Eventually we will see it and it will get
right. But I mean, even I did that at Raytheon before. I would set like my chat thing. I would mark myself in a meeting, or I'd mark myself away. And hell, sometimes I took my phone. Like I disconnected my phone if I needed stuff to get done. And I just put my headphones on it and zoned out so that I could actually get something done without being interrupted.
Yeah, so the last 5 years that I actually had a real job, and I don't say this jokingly, I don't consider what I do here a job. I don't. I haven't.
I make her do a lot of work, but
I don't consider this a job. So before I retired, I had 5 years where I worked for a small agency. I worked in a position of a small team. And although I wasn't necessarily on call, because we rotated the call duties, I always had my phone on, because I never knew when that call or who was going to call or what was going to happen. So the phone was always on, and it was definitely a leash and a tether. prior to that 5-year segment that I was doing that, I could turn my phone off at home. I wasn't worried. I wasn't going to get called out.
Yeah.
Like, if I left work, I left work. Here, I don't consider this a job, but I don't think most people realize in the scope of a small business.
We're really small.
Also, not just that we're really small, but the type of business that we do. This place is 24/7 for both of us.
It lives rent free in my head like Pink Pony Club.
Yes. But that's it, is I don't think most people realize how much this business.
Yeah, because there's always
Is-
ideas percolating. Like,
Right.
you're like, oh, what do we want to do next? Is, what offer do we want to launch? What are we going to do about that person who is an asshole to us?
Right.
You know,
It rarely escapes us. And I'm not saying that this is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm saying it's one of those things that if you're a small business owner, and correct me, I may be wrong about this, but like, let's say you have a retail storefront and you open at 8 a.m. and you close at 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
You have a couple of employees. Even that business, if it's a small business,
the employees might get to.
the employees
They
absolutely
get to turn off at 5 and
right.
go home.
Absolutely, the employee gets to walk out the door, say goodbye. That business does not mean jack shit. They're done. They don't care. Like, I'm off the clock. Nothing matters.
Yes. But the owner,
on the other hand,
is worried about inventory. They're worried about their accounting.
Right.
They're
Right.
worried about payroll. What the new trend is,
What
they gotta
ads
mark down.
if they need marketing,
Yeah.
if they have a sale coming, if they need to change their storefront window, like what
Yep.
new things are coming in. So if you own a business, if you manage a business, if you operate a business in any way, shape, or form that isn't like corporate America, that you have a team of people worrying about this, it's never ending. It does not stop.
And
even on vacation.
Yeah, I mean, you have encouraged me, other people have encouraged me to just take a few days and step away, and you can't. You can, because I
step away.
You can step away.
You don't stop
I'm still thinking about it.
It's
I'm laying in a hammock in the middle of the forest with no cell phone service going, what else could we launch this year, and when are we going to do it? There's moments of, oh, look, a bird, because I'm at that age where I'm like, oh, birds.
I think I'm a little more fortunate in this position that Krista is the owner. This is Krista's.
I have a lot more worries.
This is Krista's business, so I don't think you ever truly 100% get to escape it. Now by proxy, because Krista shares my brain cells, I have probably 95% of the mindset and constant occupying time frame that you do. I'm not 100%, although pretty close. But I can definitely say, like, when I'm on a cruise with my family,
she doesn't get any time off.
I don't get any time off. But no, I mean, if we're out on an excursion for the day, I'm not thinking about the business.
Right.
You're not messaging me because generally I don't have cell service when I'm out.
But I mean, there are small bits of time where I'm not thinking. Like, I take 20 minutes to do a workout. I am worried about my suffering and how many fucking burpees are in this workout. I'm not thinking about the business, but it is not, there are not days where I don't.
Yeah. Same thing with me. There are not days that I don't
even
think
on a
about
weekend, like, I still can, we've gotten to a good point here where it consumes a little bit less of my brain because
you use my brain cells instead.
Yes, because things the systems are smoothing out. Things are happening on their own because of the systems that we've put into place. So yeah, there are times during the weekend where I'm like, oh, I can go do things. I don't have to worry about it. It doesn't mean that I don't think about it, but I don't have to worry about it.
Right. There's a difference between worrying and then thinking about what's next and thinking about the ideas, especially for us in a creative spot. There's always that, what's new? What can I do?
Right.
What can I bring into,
And it's those
enhance the experience.
relaxing times where I'm in the middle of a, fucking camel pose on the floor or something, where maybe my brain has quieted enough for those things to come through. Instead of all these other thoughts like rushing around everywhere, blocking the new, the creative, and oh my god, I sound like Kira. So I have worked with this mentor. Her name is Kira. She's in Indiana for a couple years, off and on. And I jumped back into her world recently. And this woman has like the most hypnotic voice. I don't care what she's selling, you will want to buy it, which is like one of her superpowers. Like she is really good at you can't see this, but I started talking and Tracy started scrolling her phone. God damn it. But like that's the magnetic energy that I think every business owner wants to aspire to. Like we're not going to be her, but to be able to speak so
magnetically.
Yeah, well, I used the word magnetic. I was looking for another one.
Well, yeah. So you have to understand something. So a week ago, when we were driving back from Phoenix,
was that a week ago?
I don't fucking know. It all blends together. I don't know. It was the last time we were in Phoenix and we were driving back. Chris was like, "Hey, I want to listen to this audio from Kira's, program." And so, those of you that know me well or have been around me enough, is I'm very much what you see is what you get, and I put it out there, and I tell Krista all the time, look. Keep your intentions there. Focus, be you. Let the universe, like, things are going to happen. The fucking universe will bring you what you need when you need it, as intended. And I always preach this, that you have to be open and willing to receive. And all of these things that I have preached to Krista for 5
that I don't listen to
motherfucking years, that she does not listen. I think you listen more than you let on, but I think I literally have to drum it into your head.
I need it from multiple sources.
You do. You have to.
I am the person who you cannot bring me a paper with one source. I need multiple sources.
Yes. She needs it validated constantly.
Yeah.
So as we're driving, we're listening to this audio of this person who is just a magnetic personality and is so pure in how she says and does and drives. It's authentic, it's real. She's literally saying all the things that I have been saying to Krista.
And I'm like, oh, let's do this now.
And I am driving down the road and Krista's over there just shaking her head and I am laughing. I am just like, thank you. Oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want Kira, if you ever hear this podcast,
I'm sending her a link to this.
I literally want to grab you, hug you, and kiss you and tell you you are the most magical blessing on this planet, because finally somebody's reaffirming the same shit that I've been telling this bitch for years. Maybe she'll start listening.
Doubt it, but we'll try. Well, we did. We started rewriting stuff.
Yes. Oh, and that's the other thing. Those of you who have been in our circle for a while, you've seen stuff from us. You've gotten emails from us. You have gotten text messages from us. Some of you have acted. Some of you have come in and done a session. And
some
now
of you are still lurking out there for reasons I don't know why.
So those of you who have been in our circle and who have seen the emails and you have gotten messages from us, they're different now. As of a day or two ago, we shifted everything.
Well, not everything.
A little bit.
We're still in process.
We're getting there. But you might start noticing a change.
There's more fucks to
be said. The tone in which we send our stuff.
Less fucks to be given, more fucks to be said.
Yes. So
can that be our new tagline?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We don't give a flying fuck or a rat's ass. So those of you that have seen us in person, who have interacted with us, you know how we are. When we're total fucking squirrels, we're hot messes. Tracy cusses enough to make a sailor blush. Krista cusses sometimes periodically when so inclined to do so. We're a couple of goofballs. I think we have all of this mishmash of personality, but that was not what you got when you got our emails. That was not what you saw. And we've had so many people say, this is what people need to see. We need a Netflix show to just watch you two.
So Netflix producers out there.
Yeah. So watch you two and your shenanigans. So now our emails,
they have some sass and personality.
They have some sass and a little innuendo to boot. So if you're lucky enough to start seeing the new stuff come out, yes.
Get off the pot and do something.
Yeah, put up or shut up. Oh, so yesterday. This is a great one. This is embodying. I had an inquiry come in. They texted, blind text, so no data, just a phone number. They text the number directly.
We should have asked their name.
I wasn't going to bother because it wasn't going to tell me the truth. So this is common in the boudoir world. People think, some people in particular.
Apparently we're running a brothel or some shit.
We do boudoir, so of course inherently some people automatically think, oh, let's take advantage of these people. So this is common that pervy people, and I'm saying pervy from the standpoint of these are people who have some sort of kink fix that they're trying to get. It's kind of like the old-fashioned heavy breather that would call and breathe heavy on the phone. Yeah. So the text message, straight up, flat out, do you do kink boudoir? And I knew immediately where this was going because, of course, usually when somebody straight up asks something like this, blind text without doing any other proper inquiry, then I know that they're kink fishing is what I call it. They're looking to fulfill their gratification in that moment. So standard reply, I don't entertain them, was yes, because of course I do. And here's a link, book a call, period. Then the rest of the response went downhill from there.
I was going to look it up, but I don't remember what it was.
I can look it up. It's probably not that far off. Let me see if I can find. I have all the details.
Good luck.
It's not that far. Here we go. Okay, so this person, I will read the exchange because it's hilarious. Do you do kink boudoir? My response, yes. Here's a link to book a consult call. Next response from this person, right. So can you use cuffs on me? Big sigh from Tracy inserted in this on the side. Response, we do not discuss via text, book a call. And then silence because they didn't get what they wanted. So about 8 minutes later, I responded again. If you aren't willing to book a call, then we assume you aren't serious and you are just here to fulfill your kink. And we charge extra for that.
A lot.
Their response flat out was, how much?
A lot.
So I put out their session retainer, X amount of dollars, and our minimum additional purchase, X amount of dollars. And their response, just to talk about my kink? That's extra, an additional X amount of dollars. They're like, okay, well, do you want to know what it is? As I'm formulating my response, which was not particularly, I require payment up front, and since the second you tell me you're already talking about it, my last kink session, paid me X amount of dollars, no. And their response was, here's my kink, being told to shut up when being handcuffed.
I mean, that can be exciting.
And I'm like, look.
Krista's going to get her dummy pants out.
Krista wanted to go a little dumb on him. I just wanted to send him an invoice. I pretty much said, look, if you are interested in this, put up or shut up, you're paying up front. And guess what? They went away. But I literally said, put up or shut up.
I almost sent them an invoice until you told me that was tantamount to prostitution. I was like, no, I don't want to lose my account. Stripe will shut me down.
But here's the thing is, at one point...
Oh, is that what you meant to say? Not king.
I didn't mean to say king. It was a typo, but hello.
You probably can't say kink anyway.
Probably. Stupid thing filters me.
Yeah.
So the real gist of this story is I'm embracing my bitch self. I am embracing the no fucks given. I am embracing, I'm not going to fuck around anymore. I'm going to let Tracy be Tracy, and Krista's going to cry about it.
I'm going to cry a lot.
But I'm tired of people being people. And I'm sure there's a lot
tired
of you.
What? Okay, if you're tired of people being people, then what are the people supposed to be?
So, yeah, I don't know. I just need to, unpeople. No, it's the.
We had this conversation yesterday. Mm-hmm. We had a client in for a fitting, and she was like, "Oh, I read everything," and she listens to the podcast. So hi, she's like one of our 6 listeners, and we were talking about because we don't work in similar. In my past life, we worked in adjacent industries.
Yeah. But I mean,
But we were talking about like the dumbing down and the catering to the lowest common denominator, and even I said this not too long ago that like I feel like I'm catering to the dumb. I feel like I'm having to simplify everything so much instead of people like adulting.
So, example, we can't just say tie your shoes. We have to say tie your shoes, have to tell you how to tie your shoes, have to provide a example of how to tie your shoes.
YouTube video.
We have to have a video of how to tie your shoes. We have to have step-by-step photographic description of how to tie your shoes. And this is in society in general. Right. There's no longer any curiosity or effort made to take some initiative in doing yourself.
By the way, if you're a client, 99% chance your question is answered in something I already sent you.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing is, like yesterday's client coming in for the fitting who does listen to us, and she's going to recognize we're talking about her, and I love that. It's I read every single thing that you sent us. I see it all. And
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will kiss your feet. I will bring you chocolate and cakes. I love you. Because, yeah, we didn't spend all that time crafting all that stuff.
For you to not read it.
For you to not read it.
No, I understand if you don't read everything. If you don't read every single word, that's okay.
Right. But
read something.
If you don't read any of it, and then you come along, and the day before your session, you send a message saying, where am I supposed to go? What is the address? Am I supposed to bring anything? What am I supposed to wear? What am I supposed to do? And you ask me 55 questions all about the things that I have already sent you, everything you needed to know, then yes, Tracy's going to sigh, and Tracy's going to go,
Krista's going to bash her head on the desk.
Oh my God, I love you. Thank you for coming and blessing us with your presence. But seriously, if you aren't going to read anything, why on earth did I spend so much time crafting all the information that I've sent you? Like, I could just save myself. I could literally just save myself in the energy of not doing it. But this isn't just us.
We hear this from so many business owners.
All the businesses face the same things.
I mean, so I had a call this morning. Tracy and I are reading a book because we're bettering ourselves. And I bought some training that was offered with it, and I got a 10-minute onboarding call. And I could have shown up to this call completely blind, but I booked the call. I got the email confirmation that I booked a call, and when I looked at it, it actually told me, this is what we're going to talk about. These are the things you should come with. Like, make sure you have access to this training, because if you don't, like, let's deal with it. Do you have questions if you've gotten started? Because obviously, like, you might have booked the call the day after you bought it, you haven't had time to get into it.
Yeah.
My reminders said, hey, here's the things we're going to talk about on this call. And $10 says, and in fairness, I had missed this detail, and I was going to look for it like right before the call anyway, was how do I join this call? Is this person calling me? Am I calling them? Are we meeting on Zoom? Guess what? It's all in the email. All I had to do was read.
But this is the detriment to our society. This is the thing that's happening. With all the technology at our fingers, we have stopped making an effort. I don't know how many times just here in interacting with people, I'm the curious person. I want to know fucking everything there is to know. I'm going to go research the hell out of it. If I'm interested in doing a photo shoot with somebody, I'm going to go look at their website. I'm going to read everything that I can. I'm going to find out about them. I'm going to see their about thing. I'm going to go look at all their social media. Do they have Instagram? I'm going to go look at it. Do they have Facebook? I'm going to go look at it. Their website? I'm going to go look at it. If they have blogs, I'm going to go read it. I'm going to go do everything before I ever even talk to them. Because I want to know before I get there who I'm talking to.
At least some of it.
And then the amount of people that I see that come to us and they've done nothing. Well, can you send me some examples of your work? Okay, then I'm going to ask you, how on earth did you come across us? Because if you're asking me to see examples of my work, why are you calling me? Because didn't my work lead you here? How did you get here? Because, I mean, this is the common thing that I'm thinking as a person. Where did our curiosity go?
So, I can't tell you how many times I have seen an ad for something on Facebook.
And I go look it up.
I will leave the ad, or I'll click more info, depending on the type of ad that it is. And it will take me to a page with more info, or I will go, like, Google it, and go to their website, or I'll click on their business page and go to their website, and I will go figure out what this is. And then typically what happens is I'll lose the ad and then I'll want to find it again.
But usually the ad is somewhere also connected to them. Like if you're on Facebook and the ad is there and you've clicked down a rabbit hole and then you just go to their website, you'll be able to see it again, or you'll be able to contact them and be like, hey, I saw your ad, and go that route. But the amount of people who don't do that, like they literally just saw a picture with our ad and they click it and they don't know anything.
Which I'm thrilled that you're interested and you want to learn more,
right.
But
where did the curiosity go? Does nobody have curiosity anymore?
No.
Or the interest in finding out more on their own? And I think we've talked about it before on this podcast about photography groups. I talk about these because this is what we're familiar with. But how many times have we been in, and this is for you people out there shopping for photographers, you peoples, all you peoples out there shopping.
Oh, I was like, what was?
Okay, squirrel. Topic. Focus. Squirrel. Yeah, that's gross. Krista's playing with, you guys can't see what she's doing. She picked up her protein shake and
It's just got a little congealed.
that's just nasty. I don't want to drink anything that's congealed.
Well, you know how whey protein is.
Whatever. So, two sides of this coin. The clientele of a photographer versus what the photographer. So what the clients don't see is what's happening in photography groups. So you the mom decide that you're gonna go have a lovely family photo session.
Okay.
And you want to have it at sunset and you pick this location because this is where you wanted to go. Some of you are smart. You did a little research. You found a photographer, or you know the photographer, and you've done a little backstory.
And you know that they know how to shoot this.
You know what they're doing. But on the flip side of this, and this is why I say, please ask questions. Please be curious. Please look into things. Because in the photography groups, and this goes back to the lack of curiosity or the lack of interest in finding things out for yourself. There's a photographer somewhere there that says, hey, I booked this photo shoot. This family's paying me money and they want to photograph at sunset at this location and I don't know what to do. Can somebody please tell me how to set my camera so that I can take a picture at this time of day? So now we have mom who booked this wonderful family shoot that she's
has
expecting.
expectations.
She has expectations. Then on the flip side, mom didn't do her research and she has no idea who she booked or what their skill set are because that was lacking in her thought process and her curiosity. So now said photographer is in a beginner's photography group or even a not so beginner photography group asking other people how to work their camera.
Now, I want to caveat that for just a half a second here because how many times have you and I gone and done a thing and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. What are my settings? And I am by no means a beginner, but you took me out of my box. But with that said, in general, I'm not going to book a session like that if I don't know how to do it.
You're gonna go figure out how to do it first.
Generally, yes. Or I'm at the juncture now where I'm confident enough in my skills that if you give me a few minutes, I'm going to figure it out. And half the time I'm asking you because it's simpler than figuring it out myself. It's not that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the starting point, and then I can tweak it from there.
Yeah. But I think if we've talked about this before, is with technology and information being so easily and readily available, and we now don't even want to use that to find the information. It is literally, I don't know how often, and this isn't just photography. Go in any social media group, like the mom groups, the neighborhood groups, the community groups, and you will see somebody in there that will come into that group and ask a question that they could have easily gone to Google
I have a perfect example for
and
this.
put that information or ask that question and literally gotten an encyclopedia's wealth of knowledge of exactly what they needed to know and how they needed to know it. But instead, they came to Facebook and they asked the question.
And I think
And then they get mad when people like answer stupidly to them.
I think there's two pathways. So I have a hankering to do ballet again. Now I've gone to Google and I said adult ballet classes near me. And my search results are very hit or miss. I get a lot of results that they're ballet classes, but they're not adult because the definition of adult is 18 and up. And so a lot of classes will go up to 18, but they're not geared towards adult. Like adult me, who's kind of out of shape with ballet. I'm not pre-professional. I'm not pre-pro. So there is value in going to a local community group and asking, hey, I'm looking for this. I tell you, you talk too much, so I'm talking now. I think there is value in asking the question, but don't let that be your only source of research. Because there may be Desert Dance Collective might have been thinking about offering an adult ballet class, and my interest going, hey, I want to know if this exists. They're like, oh, you know what, we should offer that. So there's value in that. But at the same time, I would hope you've done a little research beforehand.
But that's not the question I'm asking. That's not the question I'm talking about. There's a difference between saying, hey, moms, I'm looking for a recommendation on a pediatrician for this area. That is different. Like, give me your personal recommendation, not just a name, because I can go to Yellow Pages. I'm dating myself. I can go to the phone book. I can go to Google. I can look up and find the doctors in my area. But I want to know personal recommendations. What was your good, bad, or ugly? That is different. You saying, hey, is there anybody out there that's offering, dance classes that you know of or you can recommend? That's different than saying, I have scorpions. How do I get rid of them? Like, the dumbed down questions that are there. How do I tie my shoes?
Well,
like, we've both seen those questions and we're going, are you...
I mean, to be fair, the scorpion question might be valid.
Well, could be like, not necessarily how to get rid of them, but hey, do you have recommendations? I have scorpions. Do you have recommendations on a good exterminator? Who have you used? That's different. But asking a question like, how do I tie my shoes? Those things are in those groups. We've all seen them. And we all want to answer with a dumb, sarcastic response because we've all seen them and thought the same thing. Like, really? Google's your friend.
On that note, not scorpions, but for our 6 listeners out there, if you know of an adult ballet class on the northwest side of town, please let me know.
Krista needs to get her point back on.
I got my shoes out last night.
I saw your story.
So I actually have to laugh before we wrap up. I took the dog for a very, very brief walk because it was still too hot out. And I had dinner, and then I decided to do one of my flexibility classes that I have scheduled. And it was 20 minutes, and it felt like the longest 20 minutes ever. And I skipped parts of it because I was not feeling it. But I was like, I still need to do something. So I went and I found an 11-minute bar. It's literally just plies. I swear that went by in like 3 minutes. I'm like, what? Wait, what? This is it? Like it's over? Like, how did 20 minutes of stretching, which I generally normally enjoy, feel like forever? But 11 minutes of plies was like that.
I have no idea.
So, yeah.
Krista,
there was a lot of cracking in my knees, though.
So Krista has squirrel issues, as we've already, put out
I'm
there
just
into the
gonna
universe.
start signing my emails with a squirrel emoji.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's it. But so Krista is also the raccoon that chases the shiny objects.
Yeah.
She needs her next shiny. So somebody out there in our listener world, the 6 of you, can you please give some recommendations for Krista fitness journey to the new next shiny object that will hold her attention for a limited amount of time? Because she's done the running thing, she's done the trail running thing, she's done the lifting thing, she's done the ballet thing, she's doing the triathlon thing,
I've done
pole. I mean, what's the new shiny? I would love to do a bungee gym that has like the bungee thing, but we don't have one in Tucson.
myself doing that.
But that would be fun.
I would fucking hurt myself.
But that would be fun.
Maybe, yeah.
But we don't have one here.
No, we have to go to Phoenix.
We need somebody here to start a bungee gym.
Yeah.
We talked about this. We
should
start one.
Dude, no.
We did have a bungee
we are
gym.
too busy. We don't have the time.
Yeah, so.
No, I honestly, I follow a former soloist on YouTube. She's got like 600 videos on YouTube. But here's my struggle with this. It's the same thing with flexibility. There's so much of it that there's overwhelm. I don't know how to put a program together. And that's where I'm stuck. Like I want to go to a class because I don't have to think about it. I just have to show up and do. But there's nothing convenient, and I don't want to drive downtown. I don't want to be whacked with a hatchet. Because everything downtown now is the hatchet district. So
I'm laughing. It's one of those things that it's sad that that's what's happened. There has been.
I feel bad for the people involved. Yes.
There has been some very awful incidents. Literally, one person lost their life with a hatchet attack downtown. The fact that now we've named everything the hatchet, and yeah, it's gotten bad. There was another incident not long ago. So
I think that was on the east side.
And it was a bus stop. Again, don't hang out at bus stops.
I think that's the best advice. Don't hang out at bus stops unless you have to.
Just don't go into Tucson in general. Like, just don't. I'm a suburban snob now.
But yeah, I generally don't like leaving my Northwest bubble most of the time. Just time. Actually, I had this conversation the other night. I was talking about like doing Pilates or something, or whatever, sign up for a class. And if I do it in the morning, that's fine. But things in the evening become more complicated because, say, the class is at 5:30. Most places have a 8, 10, 12 hour cancellation window.
Yeah.
If I schedule those classes on a day that we have a session, and our session runs long, our ordering appointment runs long, I may not make it to the class on time. So then I feel like I can't schedule it because
we have no idea.
Yeah.
And if you don't reserve it, then you don't get a spot in the class. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something that's challenging here because
I mean, even a 6:30 class, we certainly had days where it's been 6:30. Like yesterday, I got home at 6:30. Yes. Now that was my own doing, and I could have left at any time. But
on client days, those of you that have been here, I'm in a rush to get you out, but I'm not in a rush to get you out. Like I want to get through the things, but you take the time that you need. Right. Like and we say that when we book you too, that you're on the calendar from 9 to 5. It means our sole focus is you. You have all the time in the world that you need. And we have been here till 7 p.m. with a client before making decisions. And that is okay. The reason we just point this out is because it does make it harder for us to sometimes schedule, because we don't want to be in that position where we're sitting there with a client going, I'm watching my watch because I need to leave.
Yeah, the only only major hang up I usually have is I have to go get the dog on Wednesdays. But,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's one of those things for us. So this whole conversation started with about making time and balance and balancing. As you can
I'm
tell,
not doing a very good job balancing anything.
Krista does a much worse job of balancing things, and she makes fun of Tracy because
Tracy doesn't do anything.
Tracy
sometimes.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm like, do you like what are you doing for the holiday weekend?
Nothing.
You're not going anywhere.
No. Because you have this impression or idea for some unknown reason that it's a holiday, I must do something. I must go somewhere. I must travel. I must do. And you somehow look at me like I'm less than, or you think that
I'm just confused.
Like, because not everybody wants to. Sometimes the best thing in my life is, again, I'm in my pajamas and I don't have to fucking go anywhere. I look forward to that shit. Like, nope, not going. I asked the other day, I asked my husband and my son, do you guys want to go to the farmer's market in Oro Valley? And I got a resounding no, and I'm like, okay, fine. And then my husband was like, I thought you were going to go to the farmer's market. And I'm like, nope, not getting out of the pajamas. Well, I thought you wanted to go. Yep, I did, but now I don't. It's fine. I really, I have no interest. It's more of, and we've talked about this in past conversations.
It doesn't mean I listened.
I've lived 1,000 lives. I have done the things. And I am very content to not. And I think that's the difference. I'm not chasing contentment. I am content. I am happy in my pajamas. And you know damn well if I do want to go do something, I will do it. It's not a matter of that. It's just I'm content not to go, because as I've gotten older and I've realized how much people affect me, I'm happy to have that downtime, because being here at the studio, communicating with the people that I do on a regular basis, I'm giving them everything. I'm giving them all of me. And that drains me a lot. And not only are they getting a huge chunk of me, you are taking a huge piece of me. And it is not a complaint. It is just that when I get that Saturday alone and a long weekend, literally my brain is saying, Chris is going out of town. I can literally go in my room, shut the door, and paint fucking rocks. And I don't have to entertain her. I don't have to get out of my pajamas.
I'm a toddler.
I don't have to brush my hair.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything. And I don't have to put any energy upon myself to do that. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing is, like, you think, oh, I have to go do these things. I have to go do these things. I have to go do these things.
No, with that said, like, I will get to Prescott, and other than writing, like, I'm gonna spend time on the couch napping.
Exactly.
I just want to go nap somewhere else that isn't my home.
No, I love my home. I love my home. I love my bed. And honestly, like,
but I can nap there anytime. I want to nap somewhere different.
So, when we were driving back from Phoenix, and I asked you the question about, like, if you had unlimited funds, what would you do?
And I was like, I'm gonna trade her.
So one of the things that I had said was, I would love to travel, but I want to travel where I don't have to do anything. Pick me up, put me in a car, get me there. I don't want to think about it. I don't have to worry about my connection. I don't want to have to worry about anything, because all of that absolutely fucking exhausts me. Like, I'm exhausted thinking about what it's going to take for me to get from Tucson, Arizona to London in September. That thought process of all the things in my brain of, we gotta drive, actually, I'm sorry, we're not going from Tucson, we're going from Phoenix, but having to get from Tucson to Phoenix, park my car, make sure my car is, in the lot and it's paid for, get from the parking lot to through security to my gate, get on my plane, and have nothing happen that I have to worry about. Get on that plane. Luckily, it's a direct flight, no stops, so thank God for that energy.
It's a long-ass flight.
It's a long-ass flight, but it saves my brain from the stress of, oh my God, I have a connection I have to make. Get there, then also deal with, now I have to get from a place that I don't know anything about in a country that I know nothing about other than, it's the UK and it's English, so it's great. Although sometimes not easy to interpret some of the English. Their English is different than our English sometimes, and depending on what the dialect is.
The accent's going to screw you over.
It's going to screw me over. So, but also navigate from there to another point. And again, this goes back to Tracy is a meticulous, I need to know everything there is to know before I step foot there. So all of these things are going to be occupying my brain, and then making sure. And until we're actually going on a cruise to Norway, but we have to get from London to Southampton to get on the boat. So the only relaxation I will get actually will be when I'm on the boat. The second I step foot on the boat and all those other hurdles are done.
Like, this sounds fun. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, what is there to be stressed about?
It's the actual travel part. The travel part. I do not like travel. I like destination. I don't like travel. This is why I actually like driving, because driving is simplicity. It is simple. I can get in the vehicle. I'm in control of what happens. And I don't mean like, I just mean I'm navigating. I get to be there. I'm not worried about it. I'm at the mercy of all these other people.
Sure.
And that type of thing. And I'm at the mercy of all these things, like what can go wrong? The plane's going to break. I have to wait. My flight's delayed. I'm going to do all these things.
I think, before we wrap up, I think one of the things that has served me well in air travel is it's out of my control. It's just gonna be, and I'm just gonna roll with it.
Well, it's just funny as fuck, because around here you're a fucking high maintenance control freak.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. So, and I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite.
I am generally like so unbothered by air travel. Like, if my flight, if I have a connection and I have to, I'm gonna be late. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, I fly through places that I know there's other flights, so I'll get on another flight. Yeah, I'm gonna be late. My biggest stress about traveling now is that generally my mom is meeting me, and it's fucking up her plans. Like if I'm late, that's then she has to adjust.
Yeah, see, and
but
I'm the opposite.
It sucks, and I'm mad about it, but there's nothing I can do about it.
So I think this comes also from like cruising, because a cruise ship, that's why I say I will relax when I get on the boat, because that's like the biggest component of this trip. Like, yeah, we're gonna spend a few days in London and exploring around there, and that will not be that much stress, because it doesn't matter. We're on no time specific thing. But until I actually get on the cruise ship, and because that is time sensitive. That is, if you
miss that,
you're fucked.
Yeah.
So that is one of those components for me of, yeah, I need this. But I also, I have made the mistake in the past of, I love my husband. He is the best rock in my world. He supports me 100%, unquestionable. And there are times where we have gone on a trip and I'm like, okay, my husband, I am mistakenly thinking that my husband is like me, and he meticulously thinks about and plans and knows everything there is to know. Nope. My husband's like Krista. And I get to the stupid subway in New York City and I'm like, well, how does this work and where are we going? My husband's like, I don't know.
But I would know that. Like, I would have taken the time. Honestly, I probably would have figured out the time.
You would have a little bit less than. No, not my husband. My husband knew where the location was. He knew where we needed to get on. But other than that, like, nothing else.
I mean, but like, I'm also the traveler who fucking went to Switzerland, went to a bookstore, looked in a local guide to figure out how to get to a mall, and just randomly got on a bus in what I hoped was the right direction in a country that I don't speak the language very well.
And so I'm not terribly worried about that kind of a thing if I have, again, no pressure to be somewhere by a specific time.
And this was before good smartphones.
Yeah. So as long as there's no pressure, this comes back to why I like driving, because there's no pressure to be.
Yeah, that was like my arrival day. There was
there's no pressure. But if I'm having to worry about getting on a flight, getting to a certain point, because if I don't get on the flight, then I miss the flight, and all these things, those things, nope. I am not the person like Krista who rolls into the airport 30 minutes before her flight. I'm like, nope, I am 2 hours.
What's funny about this now is I used to be that like 30-minute person. But now that I have lounge access, I'm like, oh no, please get me to the airport as early as possible. I'm just gonna go sit in the lounge and eat and like drink my mimosa and watch planes take off.
Yeah. So I
But
definitely.
if I didn't have that, then yeah, I would still. I mean, Phoenix a little bit more. I'll show up early because it's just bigger. But Tucson, like, there's no point.
Yeah, Tucson's not terrible, but again, I have been to Tucson.
But internationally, I would definitely show up early.
Oh God, yes, absolutely. So anyway, but yeah, high maintenance. I am not like the best traveler. So when it comes,
we are never going anywhere together.
Actually, I think we could. I still want to do the Amazing Race with you because I think it'd be fun.
We are gonna both lose our shit. So on that note,
but no. So for self-care and balancing things, I like.
On a trip with Tracy.
No, go on a trip with Tracy because Tracy will.
That's
have
true.
everything.
Tracy will plan everything. You don't have to think about it.
Exactly. I am the planner of said trip. Ask the girls who've gone to Vegas with us. I had all the snacks.
I was just like, whatever. Show me what time to show up.
I'm like, I will not. Like, I know. I already know everything. I know what we're doing. I am the planner. I am the executor. I want to make sure everything's done and take care of. I'm
okay. Then if you need self-care, talk to Tracy and she'll take you on a trip.
So,
that she organizes.
But the difference between you and I is you're like, why are you not going anywhere? Why haven't you done anything? Because guess what? Tracy's favorite place right now is home. I love home. I love quiet. I can snuggle with my puppy on the couch and, curl up in my bed with my blankie and my pillow and my fan blowing in my face, and I'm happy as a clam.
All right. Fine. On that note,
bye.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.